goes in motion. Lane under pressure, and he gets sacked. Eli Cummings. Derrick Harmon right there to rip. Pressure again. Ball comes out.
Second half. The 18-yard hit for Harden. He is run down by...
Howdy, boys. Welcome on in. We got Derrick Harmon, interior defender out of Oregon. This fine young gentleman gives me some very good vibes of a Calais Campbell type of dude. A big, strong body that's very physical, very athletic as well. This guy blew me away. Pause at the combine. Very athletic for his build. Very, 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 very athletic for his build and what he has. Let's get into the PFF numbers. Alrighty then, Derrick Harmon, interior defender out of Oregon, number 55. We have a 83.9 grade in 2024 with 14 games played, 591, pretty much 600 snaps, 5 sacks this season for this amazing Oregon Duck team who did a lot of great things this year. 7 quarterback hits, 43 quarterback hurries in the interior, and I bet you a lot of that is him being able to cross, and I hope we see it in this film, but I know I've seen it before, but I don't know if it was exactly in this film study. But able to create what I like to saw, like I say, you saw the body, and we'll just talk about it later on. Pass rush grade at 86.3, run defense grade at 80.5. Love that. True pass set, pass rush grade 91.2. Interior defenders to show any type of resemblance of true pass run or true pass rush is vital, especially if we're talking 90 type of territory. I'm getting giddy at 80, right? If you can give me 80, and this is a guy that's not, and also with true pass set, pass rush grade, when it's a 90, it's usually a smaller, compact guy that is, like I was going to explain earlier, good at sawing the body to where you create a dividends to where you only attack half of the player's body and half of the guard of the tackle's body, and then also the simple fact that you're athletic, you're able to bull pass him like pretty easily. Let's get into the first look. Harmon has just 1 year of notable production, but the season showcased a player with a high football IQ, consistent competitiveness, and NFL level quickness. Like as I said, he can be an effective 3-tech defensive lineman for an even front. So once again, these 43 quarterback hurries is a mention of his size, his measurables, but also he's very athletic. He's very lateral and moving. So great stuff. See you guys at the film. All right, so here we go. In this first play, looks like he's lined up right over the guard. Gets 2 hands on him. Not able to get to the ball carrier here. I want to see him continuously moving his feet. I hate when my defensive linemen are on the ground. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Absolute hugest pet peeves is when my defensive linemen are on the ground. It gives the offensive lineman a lot of false confidence, but confidence none the least. But he did get held right there, and that is what the flag is. If you guys pay attention, he gets held as he's going to get the ball carrier right here. And this fine young gentleman, this good referee, sees it, and that is why he falls. So we have the beautiful excuse for it. And look at them. The ref gets there, gets right to it. Held him. Beautiful. Here we go once again. A little bit of weird footing, but look at that. Able to get to the quarterback. That's a quarterback touch. We do want him to kind of slow down, but everything was kind of off balance from the get-go. But here we go, right in this 1-tech territory, right to this A-gap, 1-tech. All right, and he's just able to just, like as I said, use his lateral quickness to go around him. And right now, we just want you to break things down, slow things up. This is a D1 quarterback, so he's a little bit stronger. But come in a more controlled capacity and bring the guy down right there. But still, great rep. You're able to, speed things up for the quarterback. No deep ball, anything like that. Good stuff, Derrick. And then here we go. No one will ever be blocked by a center. That is my another rule. If you are an interior guy that wants my respect, a one-on-one situation with the center is always yours to win. And that's what happens right here, right? We have the guard pulling, and he's just one-on-one with the center, gets his hands very active very quickly, and did not have any chance whatsoever of blocking Mr. Derrick Harmon. And then here we got the two hands on him. Good, the pin pull. Oh, but just a little bit too late. A little bit too late. Maybe a little bit quicker, and it's not that much of a dot, but where are my safeties at? But you see him right here with this tackle. Good, the tackle did a good shoot as well, but look at that. You pin him, pull him, ole, ole. Touchdown. Damn. That was a dot. Here we go. Right there, trying to get nice. Trying to split that B gap. Was that the B gap? Trying to make sure. No, it was A. Trying to make sure he crossed the face of this guard. Making sure that he did not get reached here. Everything's going to the left or to the right. And he wanted to get right there and make sure he was able to still penetrate. That is freaking phenomenal. That was freaking phenomenal. That is strength. That is preparation. That is that football IQ. Understanding where the play is going and him wanting to interrupt it. And this is another football IQ ordeal. Going with the flow of where the offensive line is going, seems like. Big number 55 right here. All right. Motion to the left. Offensive line all moving left, right? So this is zone. Offensive line is moving to the left. Defensive line is going to try to mirror that, cut things off, cross the face, because it looks as if everything's going to the left. But when you have zone, the running back has all of the options in the world to do a cutback, counter, reverse the field. He has pretty much full range in the zone. So when everything is still going left, he is able, as the running back turns things to the right, and it looks like to be a successful counter, he also turns to the right, flips off, complete 180, and gets to the ball carrier. That is a first round rep. That is a first round play. That is, if Derrick Harmon is there at 17, depending on where we're at, depending on, and I'm a Bengals fan, depending on, like I said, I hate when we're on the ground. Look at that, dude. That's false confidence for the offensive lineman. I hate that. But like I said, if it depends who is there at 17 and what edge rushers we're passing up on. But if it makes a lot of sense for Derrick Harmon to be on the Cincinnati Bengals next year, I am very happy for that, because he has a lot of potential. The athleticism that he showed at the combine was second to none, literally, for his position group. And he's not even had a lot of time to start. And so there we go. We had a wimpy one-arm tackle there. I don't know where our linebacker support is, but as he's kind of taking on this block, I do love the idea of defeating the block as quickly as possible, to where you can then not have to have a terrible arm tackle as your resume, on your resume. So let's defeat the blocks with the two hands. And then here we go. Nice rip through. Get there. Get to the quarterback. Beautiful, man. This is just that lateral quickness. I didn't even have to see it to, let's watch. Okay, so he's on the outside shoulder of this guard right here, okay? Beautiful. And then he has a nose for help on the center. And all he does is cross the face immediately, bro. Look at that speed. As soon as the guy, so hear me out. This guard might feel that he wants to bring things right here through this B gap and tear that up. Or maybe he just wants to mirror him so he can get a good understanding of what he wants to do. He just then just says, okay, if you're going to probably match me, and this is IQ. He just then able to just quickly, bro. He's already, this is what I mean when I say sawing the body. He's now working with this little dividends of his body, this little bit of his body, his full 6'5", 300 plus weight, and the speed and athleticism is only working against this guy's wrist right now, dude. That's it. And that's that lateral quickness that he's able to display, right? And then still didn't help him. Now he has number 10, a running back in front of him. Strength is just pushed out right here, and he's just able to get to the quarterback, man. That is an AFC North freaking animal. That guy's awesome. That guy's sick. Let's see. I'll see you guys at the analysis. All right. So we have Christian Barmore as the comp for PFF. I think the easiest one for me, even though Calais Campbell is like 6'8", And, you know, Derrick Harmon's only 6'5". I think they still play similarly. I'm also thinking of... man, there's someone else that I have on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it, though. Good arm length for the interior. Quick first step and quick footwork. Fast hands off the snap to get inside and dictate first move. And this is everything, right? And also the quick first step. That's what we saw in the sack. The good arm length we saw in the sack. Fast hands we saw in the sack. Push-pull, right? That push-pull and that touchdown that they gave up. Push-pull and arm-over moves are natural and smooth. That's so awesome. We agree right there. I was a push-pull or pin-pull, push-pull, however you want to pull it. Competitive player with a good motor. Build is naturally a little high-waisted. Yes, it does seem like he doesn't have a very wide base, but if he can make it work, he can make it work. And that's what it is. It's his build that reminds me of someone. It's not necessarily the effectiveness of their game, but it's just the build that I'm thinking of. And then pops up and loses leverage out of his stance. And that's because of that high build, that weird build. Lighter in the lower half at current weight. And we're all saying the same thing right here. Club move could use more violence. You're talking about his club move? He's 6'5". How many club moves is 6? I mean, that's like tough if you're going against a bunch of 6. Whatever, I don't know. Disagree. You boys let me know what you think in the comments on Mr. Derrick Harmon. Peace.